Hi, hola, hello. Welcome to the Tech Geek podcast. I'm your host, Sukriti Yaduwanshi. Hope you and your loved ones are doing fine. So, organizations are increasingly strategizing employee education around data security and its potential threats. Some organizations have gone a little mile ahead by ensuring physical protection of devices by focusing on the product design itself. A smart, secure, and intelligent device can help battle the problem significantly. To not compromise on the productivity and to make collaboration easy, Dell offers the most secure commercial PCs with solutions like SafeBIOS, which is primarily designed to keep an organization's data safe at all levels. And today, I'm in conversation with Vivekanand Manjeri, Brand Director, Client Solutions Group, Dell Technologies India, to talk about the future of intelligent PCs. Vivekanand is the brand director for client solution business at Dell. In his role, he's responsible for sales enablement and growth programs for the India client businesses, along with product pricing, demand and supply planning, and managing product transitions. Welcome to the show, Vivek.
Good evening, Sukriti. Thank you for having me on the show. Really excited to be joining the Tech Geek podcast. The topic is very interesting and something that I'd love to discuss my opinions on.
Thank you so much, Vivek, for being a part of the show. I'm really excited to have you here with me and shoot my questions to get the insights from you. So let's quickly begin. So my first question to you is: what is the idea of the term "the future of intelligent PCs"? How is it changing the work models for organizations?
Sure. I'll take the second part of the question first to kind of give you the background and then touch upon therefore what is the future of intelligent PCs. So if we look at how has the working model or the work environment changed across the globe, over the last 18 months, the pandemic is upon us, and it's been a fairly challenging time for a lot of organizations, both to manage the employees as well as enable IT to support what business requirements have been put forth. Uh, Given that the environment has significantly changed, most organizations are in the middle of evaluating how quickly they need to digitally transform themselves by adopting the right technologies. And at Dell Technologies, we've always believed that digital transformation is the way to go for most organizations. But what has really happened is the pace of accelerating digital transformation has really picked up. So at Dell, we on an annual basis publish the remote work readiness index along with the maturity of digital transformation programs for a lot of organizations, which is a worldwide survey that we do. This year's survey reveals some interesting insights. I think three things I wanted to really call out. Most of the CIOs and IT leaders we spoke to did agree that the pace of digital transformation is accelerated. Number two, while they try to enable remote work because employees, customers, and partners are distributed and are working remote, there are a lot of cost savings associated with enabling the transition. And on the other side, a lot of employees who participated as well did say that they expect remote work or a hybrid work model to continue going into the future. Now, all of this clearly indicates one thing, that today most organizations don't have a choice. They have to accelerate the pace of digital transformation. And a core part of that is how do they drive employee productivity and the right IT experience, automation, all of this while they transform the business digitally. Now, in this context, if you think about the PC, at Dell Technologies, we have innovated within the commercial and the consumer PC business over the last 2+ decades. We strongly believe that the PC will continue to be the numero uno productivity device for corporations. And the reason behind that is, more than any other time, today when people are distributed, employees are working remotely, the emphasis on what can a PC do in terms of delivering employee productivity, driving user experience, etc., has gone up significantly. So as we navigate through this new normal, the need of the hour is, can we deliver intelligent PCs to our customers. When I say intelligent, how do you leverage technologies like AI, ML, etc., to enable devices that, like I said, give the best user experience to employees, give new ways to connect and collaborate, which directly impacts the productivity, and at the third time, or on the third front, ensure that the PC itself is secure so that the data that resides within the PC is not compromised at any point in time. So I strongly believe the future for PCs is how does the PC get more intelligent to ensure that a lot of automation is enabled, employee experience is improved, and at the end of the day, the right productivity outcomes are enabled for IT organizations, employers, and employees.
Thank you for that. So we've seen that the adoption of emerging technologies like AI and ML has been massive in India, regardless of the sector. So what are the major shifts you are seeing in the PC landscape as of now?
Sure. So within PCs, like I briefly mentioned in the earlier comment, AI ML will become, at least within the Dell portfolio, a critical part of the PC solution experience. Let me elaborate a little bit. The future roadmap that Dell will bring to businesses and the PC world itself will have AI and ML playing a crucial role to provide certain features which will optimize resource allocation depending upon what each individual users need. For example, battery life or the allocation of processing power, all of that will be customized for each individual user based on what the PC learns from his use case or the user's workload. That is number one. If we kind of go a step further, we want to use artificial intelligence within the PC to make it a hassle-free experience for the IT teams also, which means tomorrow's PC may be intelligent enough to send a signal out to IT saying it needs a health check. For example, the PC might send a trigger to the IT team saying, there is potentially a hardware failure that is coming 2 months down the line. Could you send a service engineer now for preventive maintenance? So I just gave you a couple of examples. Some of these features are already in the PCs Dell brings to the market, some of which are more futuristic, the way we see it. But more importantly, think of the PC as almost being, intelligent enough to manage the employee's requirements, be it give the right productivity outcomes, like I said, or a PC that can self-heal to keep the employee working with minimal downtime. And at Dell, we want to bring all these experiences to our customers and employees in the future.
Great. So now I would want to know that what are the key, elements that data technology solutions can support organizations to ensure a healthy remote work culture?
Got it. So now let me talk about what are some of the features that are today available within the commercial PC portfolio that we bring to the market. One part of the PC experience is what comes through the hardware features, be it innovations in materials, how we reduce the footprint of the PCs, how we bring faster connectivity, how we bring the latest processors or the memory technology, all of that, which is more hardware centric. And we continue to innovate on those areas from one generation to the other. The other important aspect which I want to talk about today more is how does Dell integrate software and hardware? When I say software, specifically artificial intelligence and machine learning, into its commercial PCs. So from this generation of commercial PCs, we have integrated the Dell Optimizer software, which is AI ML based, which comes preloaded on all our commercial PCs, be it the desktops, the notebooks or our workstations. So what does Dell Optimizer software do? Dell Optimizer software actually customizes the PC experience for each individual user after understanding what are his unique workloads. For example, it has features like express response. Express response is when the system resource allocation is customized after the AI/ML software learns which are the most frequently used applications for the user, what are his resource requirements, and then it customizes the resources that are allocated from a hardware perspective so that the most frequently used applications perform fastest. There are other features like express sign-in where the PC is intelligent enough to have a seamless login process where without touching the keyboard, the moment the user walks in, you are signed into the PC. The other aspect which I alluded to earlier was it is also about security. All our PCs come with Dell SafeBIOS technology, which is a chip-based off-the-host BIOS verification, which means at any point in time, your BIOS, the true golden version of your BIOS, is secure somewhere else. And in the unfortunate event where you suspect that someone's tampered with your BIOS, you can quickly go back and check whether that has happened, and you can bring back the golden version from the version that is off host. In addition to that, we don't talk just about the security at a hardware level. There are other features like safe shutter that we have brought to our commercial PC, specifically the notebooks, where on the latest Latitude 9420 and 9520, which are our flagship notebooks, we have a feature called safe shutter, which is the industry's first automatic webcam shutter, which means it knows when to open and close by syncing with video conferencing applications. So I just gave you, I think, 3 or 4 examples of how we brought in innovation both at a hardware and a software level to ensure that the PCs are intelligent and secure at the same time.
Absolutely, Vivek, and I'm sure this is going to help organizations because the kind of cyber attacks that we have actually witnessed in the past couple of months, I should say that this is really, really important for organizations to actually take care of the data breach. So thank you for that. The last question that I have is, so we spoke about, how different perspectives of the future intelligence of PCs will be covered, how AI or ML will play a very integral role in all these things. I would want to know that what's in for the hardware engineers in this era of innovation, because we see technological advancement every day. So, what do you think? What's in for the hardware engineers?
Sure. See, we spoke about how most organizations are trying to transform themselves digitally, and the world around that, and the world around them rather, is constantly changing, and technology landscape is in a continuous evolutionary state, right? Therefore, in that construct, what a PC is and what form it will take, etc., are also evolving. We've seen multiple innovations both from Dell and across, talking more broadly at an industry level, where the PC itself is undergoing a massive change. And today, if you see, the PC is at the core of what we call as the productivity driver at the endpoint, which means for organizations to drive right productivity outcomes, secure the data, all of it, the PC has to be at its best state, right? It will continue to be the device which will drive productivity for employees, ensure hassle-free experience for IT, and at the same time give the right user experience as well. And hence, if you see what's going on in the PC market as such, we've seen a lot of innovations, foldables. We've seen companies continuously bringing thin and light devices, companies bringing in multiple features which are more hardware based to make the device secure. And I did touch upon the integration of hardware and software to make sure that PCs get intelligent. So all of this has made sure that hardware design engineers continue to play a very key role in product innovation. To give you some examples, just from the Dell roadmap itself, we were the first PC OEM to launch 2 years back the world's first zero footprint modular desktop. We called it the Optiplex Ultra. Now, the Optiplex Ultra is a very unique desktop PC where all you see is the monitor, and the PC module is actually integrated in a modular way behind the monitor. And what that does is, the uh, companies don't need to refresh the monitor every time the PC module has to change. So we've made it a modular design where all you need to do is you take the PC module at the back, keep the monitor, and you can only refresh the PC module. And more importantly, you will not be able to see the PC module like you see a traditional desktop. So truly a zero footprint machine, right? So that is one example. And we've got excellent feedback in specific industry verticals where we wanted to position that product. The other example I can give you is in 2019, we launched the flagship Latitude 7400, which has now gone through 2 cycles of, I think, refresh. But when we launched it, it was it was the thinnest and lightest 14-inch commercial PC in the market. It had industry first features in terms of having a gyroscope inside the body, which could detect when the PC was kept on a table or when it was on the lap, and accordingly the surface temperature was altered, right? So why I'm mentioning all this is all PC manufacturers and specifically Dell Technologies are continuing to invest in PC innovation, because we definitely see PCs playing a very key role in being a driver of productivity within the digital transformation agenda. And I do expect hardware engineers to play a very key role in the industry as the PC continues to evolve.
Those were some super interesting insights, I should say, Vivek. I'm sure the audience has had the right information about the innovation of PCs in the coming time. And thank you for giving us that understanding about how the future computers will work and how will they look like in terms of AI ML, and what are we currently looking at. So thank you so much for sharing all these information with us.
Pleasure is mine. It's a great time talking to you on this topic.
Thank you, Vivek. Listeners, I hope you had a wonderful time with this conversation. Thank you for listening. I'll be back with some more tech podcasts super soon. Till then, stay safe and stay tuned to TechGate for all the latest tech updates. Thank you.